Hello, all you beautiful people out there. Um, I was going to move this because Unholy Shade has a premiere right now, I think. But if I kept moving around my stuff to accommodate all my online friends, let's just say Um, there's a reason that YouTube keeps these. So, at any rate, um, couple of announcements. First of all, um, I've got um, two new stores on my Teespring. Um, one says ideal in facts and not faith. The other one says free to be me, and it has an LGBTQ flag. So go check that out if that sounds interesting to you. The second channel announcement is Dr. Josh of Digital Hammurabi is going to be here Sunday um, at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be talking about slavery and the Bible, so don't miss it. And now we have Today in History, and this is actually a uh, an interesting one, to say the least. Donner Party rescued from the Sierra Nevada mountains. Yes, that Donner Party. On February 19th, 1847, the first rescuers reached surviving members of the Donner Party, a group of California-bound immigrants stranded by snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains. In the summer of 1846, in the midst of a western-bound fever sweeping the U.S., 89 people, including 31 members of the Donner and Reed families, set out in a wagon train from Springfield, Illinois. After arriving at Fort Bridger, Wyoming, the immigrants decided to avoid the usual route and try a new trail recently blazed by California promoter Lansford Hastings, the so-called Hastings Cutoff. After electing George Donner as their captain, the party departed Fort Bridger in mid-July. The shortcut was nothing of the sort. It set the Donner Party back nearly 3 weeks and cost them much needed supplies. After suffering great hardships in the Wasatch Mountains, the Great Salt Lake Desert, and along the Humboldt River, they finally reached the Sierra Nevada mountains in early October. Despite the lateness of the season, the immigrants continued to press on, and on October 28th, they camped at Truckee Lake, located in the high mountains 21 kilometers north of Lake Tahoe. Overnight, an early winter storm blanketed the ground with snow, blocking the mountain pass and trapping the Donner Party. Most of the group stayed near the lake, now known as Donner Lake, while the Donner family and others made camp 6 miles away at Alder Creek. Building makeshift tents out of their wagons and killing their oxen for food, they hoped for a thaw that never came. 15 of the stronger immigrants, later known as the Forlorn Hope, set out west on snowshoes for Sutter's Fort on December 16th. Sorry. 3 weeks later, after harsh weather and lack of supplies killed several of the expedition and forced the others to resort to I might get demonetized, so I'm not going to say this word, but for those of you familiar with the Donner Party, yeah, they ate something. Um, and I will say most of this kind of behavior comes out of survival mode, although some of it does come from funerary rites, and very, very few cases are found for warfare. So, uh, yeah. So don't judge them. They needed to survive, and that's how they did it. News of the stranded Donner Party traveled fast to Sutter's Fort, and a rescue party set out on January 31st. Arriving at Donner Lake 20 days later, they found the camp completely snowbound and the surviving immigrants delirious with relief at their arrival. Rescuers fed the starving group as well as they could and then began evacuating them. 3 more rescue parties arrived to help, but the return to Sutter's Fort proved equally harrowing, and the last survivors did not reach safety until late April. Of the 89 original members of the Donner Party, only 45 reached California. Just a minute. Alrighty, on to the main event. This is part of the Sermon on the Mount, and this is what you see a lot of in cults. Not Christianity has this, but aside from Christianity, there aren't a whole lot of religions that have this type of thing going on where they consider thoughts to be crimes. That's why they're called thought crimes, because you're not actually doing anything, you're just thinking something. Now, the big problem I have with thought crime is you cannot help what comes into your head. You just can't. It comes and it goes. You can help what you dwell on, unless you have you know uh, unless you have a psychiatric disorder that makes you just keep thinking about something again and again and again. But that's a psychiatric disorder that can be treated. But you can't help what comes in your head. And that's the biggest problem I have with this. Now, I haven't really looked into Islam too much, but I do know the Jews do not have this concept of a thought crime. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, thought crime is rampant in the concept of thought crime is rampant in cults. So Matthew 5, verse 21. You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, you shall not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or a sister will be subject to judgment. Again, anyone who says to a brother or sister, Raka, is answerable to the court. And anyone who says, you fool, will be in danger of the hellfire. The footnote for Raka says it is an Aramaic term of contempt. So, yeah. Guess I'm in danger of hellfire, folks, because I've said fools a lot. But of course, I don't believe in hell. So, you know, um, anyway, going on to verse 23. Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to them. Then come and offer your gift. Okay, I got a question. That doesn't have anything to do with thought crime. Okay, but if your brother or sister, I'm guessing in the congregation, is holding something against you, has a grudge against you, why is it your responsibility to go kiss ass? I just want to know. Why is it your responsibility to kiss ass? Verse 25, settle matters quickly with your adversary who is taking you to court. That is some really, 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 really bad advice. Do it while you are still together on the way, or your adversary may hand you over to the judge, and the judge may hand you over to the officer, and you may be thrown into prison. I have no clue what that means yet. I'm thinking it has something to do with debtor's prison. Verse 26, truly I tell you, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny. So yeah, he is talking about debtor's prison here, which we don't have anymore. Thank goodness. We've, grown out of that as a species. Verse 27, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. Hey, native. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Again, why? People can't help who they find attractive. Why is it a sin for a man to find a woman attractive, or a woman to find a man attractive, or a man to find a man attractive, or a woman to find a woman attractive? What difference does that make? And what business is it of anybody else who you find attractive? Verse 29, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. No, thank you. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. Well, since there's no hell, I'll keep my eye. Thank you very much. And if your right eye causes you to stumble, and if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. Again, no thanks. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. Again, there's no hell. I'll keep my hand. Thank you very much. Alrighty. So that is a question. That is a passage, probably not the only passage on thought crime, but like I said, Christianity is the only religion that I know of that even has a concept of thought crime, and it is very, very, very common in cults to have thought crime. And where you have like mantras. Cults will actually teach you mantras to keep thought crime down. So, you know, it's weird. This whole concept of thought crime is weird because, like I said, you can't help what comes in your mind. Okay? Now, if the Bible was really true and Jesus really was the Son of God, God should know that. But I don't believe this God exists. I've said it before. I'll probably say it again and again and again and again. You might be able to get me to a deistic God. But the God of the Bible does not exist. And even if he did exist, I would not worship him because the God that is described in the Bible is an absolute megalomaniac monster. So, at any rate, I used to find Tom Cruise cute, Marianne. I liked Tom Cruise back in the day. And this was around the Top Gun days. So yeah, it's been a while. Um anyway, yeah, Marianne, I loved Christopher Reeve. You know, his father George played Superman before he did. Did you know that? Just a little bit of movie trivia there for you. So anyway, I will let you guys go. Oh, really? I thought there was. I thought it was his father. Okay. So guys, actually I was wrong. There is no relation between George Reeve and Christopher Reeve. So I was wrong about George being his father. Thank you for correcting on me on that, Mary Ann. And on that note, if I give any misinformation in my videos, which I try not to, try very hard not to, but if I do, feel free to correct me. Have a great day, everyone, and uh, stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.